Hey everybody. I met Frank in 1970. We were about 5 years out of high school. We were both riding Harley Davidsons. And then we both went out to the Salt and decided that that was where we wanted to head. Frank introduced me to Bert Peterson, and we ran a fuel coupe. Frank was one of our crew guys, and he was our everything from comic relief to a real key crew guy, and he dove in and helped us all the time. You knew Frank as Frank the T-shirt guy and Frank from Got Salt Racing. Frank only set one record, but it was a really decent record. We worked really hard to get the AA Blown Gas Lakester record in 2011, and Frank had gotten sick about 5 years before that, and he was treating a problem, and luckily we were able to get that record the year before he was not able to go to Bonneville anymore. The day before he died, I walked into his hospital room, and the first thing he said to me when I walked in was, "John, I'm never going to Bonneville again." And that was tough to take. There's some things that you didn't know, and I just want to share a couple quick stories about Frank. Many of you didn't know that he was a very talented musician. I know a few of you know it because you might have been at Frankie's wedding when he composed and wrote and sang a song at Frankie's wedding, and it wasn't third class or anything like that. It was very nicely done. I think a lot of people were very surprised. When we used to stay at the Patio Motel, Frank happened to be a really good springboard diver. And I mean, he was like the Greg Louganis of Bonneville. At the patio, he would start diving and people would actually clear the deep end of the pool, sit around the edge of the pool, and he would put on a diving exhibition for 15 or 20 minutes. And I'm not talking about like jackknives. He was actually doing all these twists and turns and ducks, and people would applaud when he came out of the water, and he would get exhausted and then he'd have to quit. He was a really good ping pong player. He and I used to ride our motorcycles to these youth centers in Sacramento, and we'd go in and he'd kick all these teenagers' ass at ping pong, and then we'd leave. And I was always jealous of that. I was pretty good at ping pong, but he was really good. He had a blown hydro that we worked on for 2 days. We took it out to Lake Paris. This is kind of like who Frank really was. We worked on it for 2 days. Frankie's mom and my wife were patiently waiting to go for a ride. So we finally get out there, we launch it, we want to take it for a test ride, and this was Frank. Lake Paris, completely wide open on the left side of the lake. Right side of the lake, some kind of sailboat thing going on with like 100 sailboats. We get it fired up, right through the sailboat. Immediately, 2 blue lights come from 2 different directions, and we were escorted off the lake in about 5 minutes. And his mom and my wife were upset because they'd been waiting to go for a ride. But that was Frank. I hope you all take time to read the thing in the program that we wrote up. Frankie and Lacey, his daughter, who now runs Cruise and Tees, the T-shirt operation. We wrote that up, and I think that tells a lot about Frank. Anyway, he helped me get a hat like in '75, and I was proud to help him get a hat in 2011. The record we set, we were all very proud of it. Mike is sitting there, and I want to tell you that without Mike Cook, we couldn't have done it because Frank happened to live down the street from Mike, and we went to him for our car. He helped us build a car. He helped us after we built the car. It says Cook Motorsport in the car, and I know that Frank and Mike went round and round about some things, but overall, he knew who helped us get that record. And I want to thank you now for that. Be sure to read the program. I think it's very interesting. And I don't know if it says in there that when Frank died, he had 38 pink slips that the family had to deal with. I don't know how many of you are collectors or have large, but anyway, the good thing was Frank Jr. ended up with a race car, and he is now our partner, Ross Ireland, and Frankie and I are going to get Ross a blue hat, and then this guy's next. Frank's son, Frank Jr.
Hey, I wanted to thank everybody for just coming out. The gas up's been a fun thing for our family to do. I miss my dad a bunch. And you know, this Salt family is really, it's what it is. It's such a cool family. He loved a lot of you folks out there, and I know you guys loved him back. And it's just a special thing to share that same thing. I'm so thankful that we're able to continue running the car. It's hard to say like who he would thank. I know John thanked Cook for building us an awesome car. Couldn't do it without our partners, John and Ross. I know he'd be super excited about his family here. My little sister, Lacey, her husband, Matt, and his first grandson, Seth. I've got 3 granddaughters. I tried making a boy, it didn't work out, but Lacey got it done. And they're also the ones that are doing the t-shirts before you guys leave. My dad would want me to say, get a dang t-shirt before you guys take off. My other sister Jen and her fiance Ronnie are here. My buddy Brandon for the crew. Gary Wilson. Who else? There's so many. Anyways, thanks so much. It's an honor, and I appreciate it. Thanks to the men and alls too for putting this event on, and thanks to everybody that voted in.